welcome. I'm so excited in today's video. As we're getting into is another high school build, and I know I have a lot, but I personally do enjoy making one per generation as they go into school, making it their color scheme, if they have any, and kind of their hobbies. And we currently are moving on to Gen 8 of the Disney Princess Challenge, and that is Mulan. As for the colors I have chosen currently are black and purple, and they are super into space. They're going to be becoming an astronaut as part of the challenge, and I highly recommend you guys join us live over on Twitch or watching the live streams over my YouTube channel. But if you guys aren't, that's totally okay. You can just check out this build, see the struggles that I went through and whatnot. So I think without further ado, let's get into the build video before I rant too much about it. So let's get into it. I'm not gonna lie, this build took many challenges, many different tries, and honestly, by the end of it, I honestly believe The Sims just really doesn't like the color purple. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but I was really struggling to find purple items to the point that I ended up using custom content. But first things first, kind of my struggle was the build itself. At first, I was trying to replicate a build that was similar in the sense of utilizing, I don't know, a similar school that does similar stuff with like space and like aircraft and whatnot. I had found one and I was like trying to build it off of that. It didn't really work out due to like the roofing style. It looked good, but wasn't really working out in The Sims. And then I tried this and I was thinking like, oh, maybe giant pillars. And then I was like, I don't really know where I'm going with it. Honestly, the only thing I knew is I wanted like a launch pad in the back, kind of a rocket ship. I'm hoping my sim can work on it. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I added that is science related, I'm not quite sure if a teenager could work with it. We're gonna find out. If not, it's kind of just the look and the appeal of it. And mainly my sim's gonna be going here for school anyway. And we'll see how that goes. So kind of what I ended up on was the idea. I don't know how I got it in my head, but the idea of like the building twisting within itself so it kind of rotates. In the end, it looks quite different from this, but that's how I kind of ended up with, and I think I like it. As for making the building more unique, I definitely added, like, you can see the fencing with these little patios. I added like little planter thingies, which you guys will see later on, and we could definitely I can definitely explain a little more once we get to the final tour. But the boxes are definitely a bit wonky, I'm not gonna lie, since you can't necessarily, you have to make a diagonal room separate. Like, you can't just make a regular room diagonal, which makes sense but at the same time doesn't. So my boxes definitely look wonky, so don't look too closely, okay? It's beautiful build, okay? It's beautiful. It took me so long to do this build. Like, the bigger struggle also was trying to match purples, because there's like warmer purples and then cooler purples, and warmer purples and cooler purples, they weren't going well together, especially since I was trying to match it with black and white due to that, like, the current colors for Mulan that I have. But I also had this idea for utilizing the, what's it called? This item up top. Oh my god, I'm having such a brain fart. I'm so tired today, but I really wanted to get this video up today. Just let me know in the comments. This telescope? I think so. I wanted it on top, and I did playtest it, so it is functional up there, even though it's in a, I ended up making it into a round room. Originally, I was trying to put it in just a, what's it called, roof at first, but I ended up putting a room. Your sim can get all the way up there. I don't know if your sim wants to get all the way up there. I know Mulan is a spellcaster, so I think I might be teaching them how to teleport. Might be the best idea for a build like this. I don't usually like having it tiered so high up due to the fact that it takes your sims forever. They only have so long in school, and, you know, Sims gods forgive the fact that if your sim wants to go do something that you didn't actually tell them to do, then you gotta wait for them to walk all the way down the stairs. So there's a lot of reasons why I don't usually like doing this many floors, but I'm kind of hoping it'll function well. I just had this idea in mind, and I kind of really wanted to run with it. I'm glad I did in the end. I hope you guys like it too, as you guys will see as it progresses. But I'm not gonna lie, this one was a struggle. Usually I like to do the first floor with the classes, the second one is like gym or any extra things that your sim might go to. This one, you'll see each tier has a little something that might be needed, but the third and the fourth floor, I ensure that you're not necessarily going to need it. The only one that you guys will see later is, I believe it's the third floor. I can't remember, but I made the nurse's floor not on the first floor, and the nurse's room is not necessarily needed, but it includes a bed, and I find that kind of needed sometimes when I have a lot of sims, you know, siblings in one household, and they're tired or they didn't get enough sleep before school, and I find it really nice to just have them sleep there. But yeah, so now getting onto the inside, first things first is stairs. I thought it'd be kind of fun to have like a spiral stair in the center, and I don't know why, but I felt like it needed like this office work like factory like stairs. I don't know what kind of stairs, if the stairs make any sense the way I'm describing them, but I thought these stairs would look the best in the sense of like we're a rocket school, I guess. I don't really know what to call this school. My lovely husband told me what kind of school this is. I guess there's a school type of focus on aircrafts in general. I was thinking more space and sciencey and maybe even aliens is what they're teaching in this school, but mainly for the reason why we're getting into space is part of the Disney Princess Challenge that we are following. Says that Mulan needs to get into the astronaut career, and I kind of debated whether or not to do that because I feel like there's so many more options now since the Disney Princess Challenge has been out for a while. But we're gonna go with it, and I'm kind of rolling with it, and I love this school, and honestly, I would have never created a school like this. But like I said, the only sad part is I did end up using quite a bit of CC in order to make things more purple, like the wallpaper. I know for a fact. And I can't remember what else. I think I did maybe windows too here and there, but I used a lot of the eco lifestyle windows you'll see eventually because I really wanted to add the unique like structure figure to the building because it's just a bunch of boxes, turned on itself. So definitely had to work with that. Currently we're just making the layout, and that's just making sure there's plenty of bathrooms. I find when you go to school with your Sims, this is just like, I don't even know if it's necessarily a tip, but it's something that I like to remind myself is it's typically one stall is hogged by a janitor. Second stall is either used from either another sim in the school or one of your other sims if you have a multi-kid home, or they're pranked, which has definitely been happened before. So I make sure that there's plenty of bathrooms. The last school didn't have that many, and we were very fortunate that it didn't, but this one, since the build is so high up, I wanted to make sure that bathrooms came first, that each floor had one, and more than like 3 stalls, because I feel like 4 is a good nice number. So if you want to like make a school, I recommend at least 4 stalls. So 1 can get pranked, 1 can be used by a janitor, and then 2, hopefully one of those 2 extras that your Sims can use. So, but yeah, currently just making the layout. I think the only thing I was kind of sad about is I'm currently making the layout for the gym. The gym's kind of small. I do eventually add a pool. The other thing that I wish I did more, you guys will see in the end, was more landscaping. I was so focused on the build itself that I didn't really think about the landscaping around the building. I usually like to elevate the lot and fill the lot with like, I don't know, like mountains or like, I like edging and stuff because the lot is huge. And usually by putting your high school on a hill kind of helps the building this whole lot a bit easier. I didn't do it this time, so my landscaping is quite minimal, like not a lot going on. I think it looks fine, but I've definitely did a lot better in my last one. I also took a lot of more time into that build. This one I had to do in 2 days with the time I had spared for it. So I do want to apologize. I do love the build and that I was very adventurous with that, but I was not adventurous that much with the like landscaping and stuff. So, but you guys will see that later. I'm kind of ranting about stuff in the future as I'm currently just laying out the build itself. But now getting on to the wallpaper, as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can quickly see, but there's not much purple. There was some in the high school, like, what's it called? One of the patterns. I did try to use it, this one right here, but unfortunately it just didn't look that good. I don't know if it's because me right now or what it's about, but I currently don't like wallpaper or flooring that just is too busy. I don't know why. I just see it and I'm like, oh god, there's a lot going on, and then you gotta add like furniture, and then I just maybe like as an accent wall, but like as a whole room or the whole floor is just a lot for me right now. So I eventually get rid of it. I did a simpler like wallpaper, but you guys will see that shortly. Sorry for my uneven lights. I do fix quite a few of them. I was just mainly trying to block them down, But yeah, so currently we're just trying to figure out, like, the color scheme. The high school flooring had some purple in it, as you guys can see the borderline. I did try to use this flooring. I do switch it out later. It just felt very busy for this lot. But I did try to make sure the whole entire property isn't too dark of a theme. I know when I made black kind of one of the primary colors for this whole entire school, it kind of made it hard in the sense of not making it just like everything dark and like hard to see. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like when if it got too dark, it was just gonna make the school kind of seem kind of sad. So I try to stay away from that, or not necessarily sad, but it, you know, if I do all black, it could also seem like a vampire school or something like that. But I wanted to still seem vibrant. I feel like we're still figuring out our characters. So Mulan's our current character. Honestly, one of our first transgender sims. So I'm kind of really excited. And I really want to go all out in the sense of like their school and exploring that and whatnot. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, Mulan's very currently, I don't know, going through a lot, so I don't know if they're quite vibrant. I do know I want to maybe go through the rebellious phase, like hardcore, like extreme, but I don't know how quite yet. But they're going to be very brainy. They have been very brainy since they were a kid, but they just aged up to being a preteen. I do have the preteen mod, and so we're still kind of exploring that, figuring out who they are. But I will say, just I don't want to spoil anything. I always do, I feel like, but I highly recommend either checking out the live streams on my other channel or watching us live, and I can catch you up easily. Because I don't want to spoil too much. I'm giving the information that it's needed for the build, but in case anybody wants to watch or catch up, you absolutely can. I know for this current Let's Play, I'm not editing it. It's just the live streams getting posted, but I will do it for the next series that we do on Twitch. I will edit it and whatnot, because I feel really bad recommending people to go watch live streams, because I've been doing this Let's Play for over a year now. There's so many episodes, and I can't imagine anybody binge watching all of it, especially since I started this challenge when I barely knew how to edit or even like do anything. I still barely know how to do anything, so I feel really bad. But at least now when I edit stuff, it's not like 3 hours, it's only 30 minutes. But that's just a weird tangent. But as for this lovely, like, I guess, classroom, as you can see, I'm really just experimenting with the colors, and the colors was one of my main troubles. So I eventually will change a lot of this in this, like, what's it called, classroom. As for like the wallpaper changes, I know the doors change. I did try to incorporate pink. I thought pink could be a complementary color, since this wallpaper went from like the purples with a bit of pink in there. But I do change the wallpaper out eventually. It just felt like too much. And I'm currently trying to find a purple to match it, and that, like, so it didn't feel like a whole lot, but I was having a trouble with, like, finding one to match also, so I ended up just getting rid of it, I think, in the end. I can't really remember which one I ended up with. It was just a lot. Like I said, this build took me 2 days total, but I feel like I could still be working on it if I allowed myself to. But currently, while recording this video, we're going to be streaming it tomorrow. Although they are preteen, I have preteen set for 3 days, so that will probably, they'll probably be aging up soon, and they'll be getting into high school, so I wanted to make sure I finished it. So yeah, as you can see, we're just kind of throwing items around, trying to get like the science items. I really wish we could get like the satellite or something dish, but I think you have to create that in the science cruise. So unfortunately, that's not in this lot, although I feel like that'd be really fun to incorporate for my lovely sim to use, and maybe even bring in like aliens and stuff. But I feel like we have enough aliens going on, especially with our 100 Baby Challenge, which I highly recommend joining us for that. We got aliens going on for that, and her previous gen, I think our Grandma Rapunzel is an alien, and a lot of her uncles are aliens. So I feel like we have enough, but part of this gen is going to space and stuff. So I have a feeling that we're gonna probably see some more aliens. But here we are. This is definitely the final wallpaper that I'll be using, as you guys can see. I think I do change it a bit, but those are the colors and like this custom content wallpaper that I end up using. I don't know if you guys saw, I quickly placed like this giant like airplane like lamp thing outside. I'll be incorporating that as like a large statue, which I'll show you guys later. I wish I did a little more of statues and stuff, but by the time I was coming to the end of like just furnishing this place, I was like, I'm kind of getting tired. But I did want to make sure it's finished, everything looks nice. So as for the flooring, I did struggle with this too, as you guys can see. I eventually find something to match, but it took a while in the sense of like figuring out which one worked. So I eventually paused. I find pausing when building is so effective, in the sense of like it's just like stepping away from that area, because things get wonky, you forget things. Like currently I forgot to place windows, so eventually I want to zip back out there, because it's windows I like to place as soon as I figure out the layout, so I can eventually like move them around, get the exterior looking good, and so I don't accidentally put wallpaper, or not wallpaper, but like wall decor But yeah, so eventually I find like the perfect wallpapers. So this is the one I'll be using mixed with custom content. But this is the Eagle Lifestyle, one of the Eagle's Lifestyles wallpapers, and I'm going from like lights to darks. I eventually changed the order from like the black, purple, then black, and then that whitish colored Eco Lifestyle wallpaper. In the end, like far off in the end, the exterior changed quite a bit because I just felt like it was looking kind of wonky. I like the idea and the concept of like it like turning it on itself, but it eventually looks very different because I didn't like that it was just like giant like pillars holding up the box. It just looked kind of silly. So but now I finally remembered some lovely windows and trying to figure that out. I ended up using a lot of the Eco Lifestyle ones, but as you can see, I was like I don't know, the build looks wonky. I don't really know where to add the windows. Like I feel like windows are it just feels like, oh, one should go here, it makes sense here. So this is where I take out that like just giant pillar and I make it into like I enclosed it with walls, put some windows up, so and it's like a planter inside. How it functions, I don't really know. Maybe there's like a sprinkler up top and someone turns it on occasionally. I don't really know. I'm not much of a gardener. I try to keep my plants alive. I really do. I think we have one plant left after our last move, and it's a bamboo tree, and that was a newer one. Because the last one we accidentally left outside for too long during the move. So yeah, I do want to get more plants. I think the only plant though currently that I want to plant this summer before summer hits would be nice, but is this catnip not catnap, but catnip seeds that I have for my kitty cats. I was kind of hoping to plant them in a planter and like make them nice and put it in their window. I don't know, my cats terrorize the catnip like plants. I don't know about your guys's. Literally they drag it, like my lovely Winter just drags that, like, it drags it around the house, it demolishes it. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to plant one myself. But yeah, that was a weird tangent for my as a lovely cat owner. I feel like they always come up. But as you guys can see, I'm just trying to fit plants in there. I will say though, although I kept it, the lighting in the planters in the build itself didn't look great. I did try to incorporate lighting inside, which sometimes helps. But sometimes the lighting with ceilings or whatnot gets a little wonky, and it definitely did in this one. So it's a bit dark inside the planters in some places, but I liked it. It made the build feel a little more unique and have a bit more shape. So yeah, as you guys can see, I'm working on this like statue in a sense. It's a lamp. It's a giant lamp, little airplane lamp. And I don't know, I saw it and I was like, oh, this could be perfect little like decadent thing outside. I wanted like a little enclosement. I don't know why I got in my head that I should do round like fencing, which this part changes a lot too. So I eventually like I want to cover it like with a bunch of planting. I eventually just did grass and then I eventually changed it back. Like I was just trying to like, I don't know, cover the flooring, so the base of the structure, the statue, the made statue that I developed, I guess, I don't know, formed, created, didn't look that much. I really wanted to incorporate lavender in this build, but I don't know why. When I put a bunch of lavender together, it didn't feel right. It didn't look good. It didn't look fancy. I really love landscaping, but this one was a bit of a trouble, so I eventually just go for grass and I just enlarge it and just, I think if you just hold shift and then click, it just like copies it and makes it really easy to like spam items. I will say though, because I incorporated so many like different little items like this, I didn't add a bunch of like decor on the inside. So when we do a final tour in first person, a lot of the walls that are typically down for when we play the game, I didn't decorate them. I didn't really feel the need for it. I honestly didn't do as much detail in the sense of like paper towels and like soap in the bathroom. I usually incorporate that, but due to the fact that I did so much work and I was running out of time, I just didn't feel the need for it. Maybe it was lazy. Maybe it was just the fact that I just didn't. It's just like a small detail I don't normally care for anymore. But definitely get to work. Paper towels and soap are usually my go-to. I didn't incorporate that, but kind of the same with landscaping. I feel like I gotta stop. I literally just finished this build, which is why I feel like I'm tangenting the fact of like so many things that I would love to work on. But yeah, so as you can see, we're like just trying to get a sense of the layout on the outside. I found that beautiful item, but I ended up not using it, like the little covered area. I think that's from high school years, but it's more of like a pitch black. I don't know, like I'm using more of like a ash gray, like black in a sense. So I ended up not using that. I ended up changing the sign too, but I thought it'd be really cool to have like a waterfall in front of it. I don't know why I tried to use it with the actual waterfalls, and eventually I remembered that there's these little things that like shoot water up. I haven't seen it in game mode yet, so it'll be interesting to see when we finally play it tomorrow. But I just thought it'd be kind of fun and fancy to have like a little waterfall in front of it. There is some signs I didn't realize till much later, which I already created this little waterfall design that I made. But there is some signs that have like a little water design in front of it. But I kind of DIY'd my own, did a little pool in front of it. I tried to make it purple, but as you can see, the purple doesn't really go. So I eventually changed it. I think I changed it to, yeah, white. I was going to say black maybe. This whole front area changes quite a bit much later. Like the sign I would take out eventually. I think the flooring around the pool changes much later. I just feel like the sign was gray while the build is more like a blackish gray, and it didn't really match. Felt a little out of place, so I changed that later. But yeah, I had this space behind the sign, so I was trying to incorporate like a little seating area. I usually try to incorporate like a bike rack and stuff, but this time I didn't due to the fact, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of details I didn't incorporate this time. I could always add it in later, or if you download it, I don't know if many people will, considering I did use CC walls. But if anybody does, it's definitely a small extra detail that you can add. So I'm just incorporating these little planters, which I love doing with half walls, because with half walls, all you have to do is click it and then copy it, and the whole plant, the whole thing, whatever's inside comes with it. And I find that such an easy way to landscape, which I eventually change out which flowers in there, but I just find it so easy and convenient, especially when I'm like, oh, I need some more landscaping over here, let's copy that, let's drag it over here. Makes it like so convenient. As you can see, I get rid of the other one. I'm like, what am I doing? Let's just copy and paste it. Eventually I changed out the bench. I was trying to find something purple. I think I eventually just used something like grayish black. The flooring currently too that I have, as pretty as it is, I eventually get rid of it. I changed that out also to just a black flooring. I don't know why, not this one, but a lot of flooring outside is very shiny to me. I don't know if anybody else notices that, but the one I use later on, you will see maybe, but it feels a bit shiny to me, but I keep it anyway, due to the fact that I eventually add some stuff outside that I was just like, it just kind of clashed with the multicolored flooring that we have currently, which you guys will see much later. I feel like I'm always getting ahead of myself. Currently, I'm just trying to correct where I want these little planters and how many do I want. I eventually changed the fencing in front of the statue that we made, due to the fact that I didn't like the what's it called? The edging to it. But we'll change all that eventually. So as for the lockers, I will say this is another problematic issue where the colors didn't match. You can see that the lockers are a warmer color, but currently you can't see it with like the classroom and kind of the wallpaper. No, not the wallpaper, but the classroom itself has like a darker, cooler purple. So moving on to the principal's office, which I never really use or see my Sims use. Maybe they go to the computer, but this is the principal's office. Definitely, I love this little extra detail though. It's kind of feels needed. Plus, you are required to have the principal's desk. So this will be their office. I will say though, this definitely puts into place the fact that the school definitely has money. You can see once I put the computer in for the principal, I usually use like the thicker computers because it makes me feel like it's definitely a school, but the school has money where they're like, what's it called, raising little astronauts and stuff, so I feel like they have a lot of money. I don't know, maybe somebody donates to them. So yeah, I don't know, I thought this was really cute. Not a whole lot of details. I did add like a little bit of like the diplomas in the back, but that's about it on the sense of like details. So yeah, I don't know if you guys could see, I definitely jumped ahead a bit on the like windows and stuff due to the fact that the windows were changing so much. I also made sure to incorporate all the little planters around the build. I didn't really clip that in earlier because there's a lot of repetitive of like me fixing things, adding the little plants, and then trying to decide on the windows. The windows were also a trouble in the sense of I kept changing them too due to the fact that the windows kind of carried this build in the sense of giving this build structure. And so that those change a lot. And I also try to use windows from the Eco Lifestyle pack, so they're kind of unique in the sense of their own. So that's why I kind of clipped it out. So hopefully no one was too butthurt on that. But moving on, the bathrooms are kind of generic, I'm not gonna lie. But as for the cafeteria, this also, I feel like I'm repeating this throughout the whole video, but really emphasizing the fact that purple isn't the Sims' favorite color. I did try to incorporate it in like the tables and the chairs. The flooring itself, I just had to eventually pick one that I liked. This is kind of where emphasizing the fact that I didn't like the flooring that was like too busy. I even changed the one we currently have. I changed a lot of it. I had like so many different variations. Like currently was trying to use CC chairs, but then I get rid of them because they're too light of a color. And then I got these chairs. This is definitely like a warmer purple, but felt like there was too many, so I got rid of it. And then eventually I changed out the table because I felt like everything was looking a little weird. So this is what we end up on, and you know, just maxing it out, but just with 3 tables. I didn't want to get the glitch. Well, it's not a glitch. I've noticed in the past with my previous goals, I put the tables too close together because it doesn't. I have move objects on, and like teachers and like students would get stuck. So I made sure that all fit. And I'm just adding some trash cans, not necessary, but I made sure there's a recycle, compost one, and a trash. But I thought it was a little extra detail since it's a school and whatnot. Now moving on to the computer room. So the computer room I thought would be kind of fun to make it look like a launch room. I don't know, like not lunch, but launch. Like where they're about to launch a rocket. They're like 3, 2, and they're like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm talking about. It's been a while since I get all my information from movies, okay? But yeah, so I just, you know, the nice fancy computers, and then I want to make it lighter. So we got the white desk and the blue chairs, and then a few little wall decals, like a clock, because I thought like if we're launching the rockets outside, they need like a little counter, countdown, and a little flashing light in case things go wrong. I could have incorporated a TV there, but I've never really put a TV in my school. Maybe like a monitor to watch the rocket, but I feel like that was good enough. So over here, underneath the stairs, we're kind of speeding along, is like a little hangout area, which I incorporate on each of the 2 floors. Your Sims can't necessarily get there, but I thought it was a little extra detail since we have the spot. But yeah, there's like a little backpack that you can store stuff, which I honestly have never stored anything in this backpack from base game, but it's a lovely little detail. Add a little few books and stuff. And yeah, I think that's it for first floor. So now we're just moving that first classroom on upstairs, and then we'll be rearranging it to fit into this awkwardly shaped room. But I think it worked out in the end. It's basically the same, except for like, I think I added like a planter because you can see like some bookshelves too, but it's like a little awkward of a space. So there's that pink again. I don't know why pink got in there. I think it's because the high school years have a lot of good pink, but it kind of matches with the purple, but not enough purple. So there's definitely some pink in this build, which I'm not mad at. But yeah, so now moving on to the chest room, because the classroom was pretty basic. I just added like a poster. But as for the chest room, this is also the library. The library isn't as big as I wanted it to be, but I think it still looks good with the CC bookshelves that I ended up using. But yeah, so I figured that we needed a maximum amount of like objects to max out logic and stuff. So we have this room here with this really pretty like flooring, can I just say, from custom content. So glad I founded that, because I absolutely love it, and I think we should use it in Mulan's room. But yeah, so we have that and a few desks to study at. I don't know if my Sims will use it. I don't think my Sims ever use a chess table while at school, but maybe Mulan will. I'm not quite sure. I know I do kind of want to build the rocket at school, because we do have a few of those here. But maybe we'll have to get our logic skill. I think she aged up with a good logic skill from being a kid too, so who knows? I just like to incorporate a chess room because it is an opportunity for your Sims to use it. How they use it? No, they usually like the computer room. So now moving up to the top floor, I just have a bunch of different science objects. This is definitely where I wish I had like the satellite or maybe some of the gadgets, but I just incorporated a bunch of random items. Like we have the little alien and the space pod thinging. Honestly, not quite sure. I'm pretty sure teens can use the same stuff as adults, so they should be able to use that stuff, but who knows? We'll see if we ever try with Mulan. So that's about it up there. And then also the nurse's room, because I kind of forgot that I like having one, and if my Sims ever tired, they can take a nap if needed, and also some showers. So that was kind of it. There's a few extra details I incorporated, but now moving on the outside, we're kind of coming close to the end. A lot of the details and landscaping I kind of do on my own, so you guys don't have to watch the copy and paste like stuff. But yeah, so here we have is our little launch pads. I thought it'd be nice and look fancy. Nothing too much to it because I didn't really know what to incorporate. But finally, I'm just realizing I have a lot of empty plot, and Mulan loves swimming, and I kind of want to make that the thing. I wish I made this bigger, I'm not gonna lie, but it was kind of a last thought, last little detail of wanting to add a pool, because I don't usually add pools to my sim, like, high school builds, because I never really needed to. But I finally got one in here. Like I said, you can see like how small it is. I felt like it looked like a death trap. Like as soon as you open, you just jump into the pool, I guess, or fall in, maybe. But I try to make it as big as possible in the like allotted space that I gave it. And I think it looks nice. But yeah, here's a little wishing well we got. The pool literally just had like a jumping board and like a what's it called, the little ladder. But yeah, so I wanted to add the wishing well. It's kind of the last thing I added in my previous high school. Did we use it? I don't think we did, but it's kind of like a little fun detail. Maybe we'll use it this time because I think our sim does have money. And yeah, so here we're changing the last few little details. The flooring, which definitely looks shiny, but I just felt like it matched a bit better with the wishing well and like the little bit of landscaping I did. So, and we have a little eating court outside. So we're gonna come to the end here, and we're gonna do a little last final tour. Yeah, so I can't wait to get into that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and let's get into it. Okay, so here is the final look, and I'm not too mad. As you can see, the outside, I've definitely, like, with the windows and, like, adding, like, a few planters and stuff. I tried my best to make the build, not look so boxy. And then, I guess to zoom in on the little planters that we were talking about, you can see where this is the pillar that was originally there, and then adding the plants inside. And over here we have is the little rocket ship that I thought looked nice as, like, a little statue and kind of symbolized what's in the school, I guess. But yeah, as you can see though, the landscaping is minimal for me. Like I just threw like trees here and like a little pathway to lead to our launch pads in the back, but that's about it. There's not a whole lot else, so let's move on the inside and just get a final look of everything and have what we got going on. So yeah, here's our little planters looking adorable. And then when you walk in, you have the principal's office immediately. You get in trouble, this is where you go. But as you can see, like I have like a few details. Like you got the one on the wall, you got the planter in the back. A beautiful view though. I mean, hopefully it doesn't get too sunny and you like get burnt to a crisp. But nice, lovely, sunny room. But yeah, if we work our way over, we have the first classroom, which I really, really hope my kid gets. So we don't have to go upstairs all the time. But yeah, lovely view. We got like a view into the planters outside that we incorporated. We got the whiteboards in the right direction this time. I did not have it right the last time. And yeah, so the walls that are usually going to be down, I didn't put any decoration on it, unfortunately, this time. Just didn't really feel the need. But yeah, so let's see. Over here we have is, I mean, obviously vending machines, always a must. But yeah, here we have is the cafeteria. Our little waistbands and a good place to eat. Sometimes I like to incorporate coffee and like a little coffee spot for my sims, but since I've incorporated the beds, I haven't really needed that. But yeah, outside we have a little eating court. Our launch pads, and then the pool. Pretty basic, but I'm hoping Mulan will like it and be able to use it quite often. So let's work our way back in. And show off the rest. So here we have is 2 doors into the bathroom. Looking pretty good. Pretty basic bathroom. I mean, quite a bit of windows, but, you know, none to see into the stalls itself, so that's pretty good. And then if we work our way over, we have is the computer lab, or like the lunch room. I don't really know what it's called. I feel like probably sounds like I'm saying lunch room, but launch, like where you, yeah. But it's basically just a computer room with a bunch of nice fancy computers, so... Now we have as a little study, little cubby area, but let's work our way upstairs, doodly-doo, and check out the next floor. So immediately we have like another little study spot, if you know, secret one. But here we have is the gym. So it's kind of small in the sense of like I didn't really think of like the spot for the gym. Mulan is mainly gonna work out by swimming is my goal. And then we have like a little meditation spot out here with a great view, might I add. And then maybe a way even to peer into the pool. Be careful though. So let's get back into the gym and work our way over. Now we have is a way into the bathroom. So like I said, I got plenty of bathroom stalls. They're all pretty basic. I didn't incorporate like the hand towel and the hand soap this time. Mainly just like the sinks, mirror, and then a way access point to the, what's it called? To the patio thingies, yeah. I need to go to bed soon. But over here we have is, I think, the other classroom, correct? Yeah, so I'm hoping my student doesn't have this one. I wouldn't be too mad, though, because it's on the 2nd floor, and it's not too bad. But it's all basically the same, and other than, like, the 2 bookshelves, and then, like, I threw in a plant so it didn't feel so empty. And then over here we have is the chest room, or logic building, or reading library room, and an extra little patio here. The views must be so amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I would honestly just stand out there. I think my high school had a patio, but it was always blocked off, so we never got to use it. Probably for good reason, but yeah, let me make sure. Was that everything? Yeah, I think that was everything on this floor. We didn't miss anything, hopefully, right? Right, guys? Hold on. Why am I asking you? Yeah, that was it. Alright, let's make our way up. Yeah, so we're nearing the end. So this is kind of more like silly stuff. I don't know if my sim will get to use it, but kind of science, logic building, fun science stuff that my sim might not use. But over here we have is the telescopes. I think on this floor every patio has one they can peer out of. So that's that. And then if we work over here, we have is the alien room. Aliens are real, what? I just figured this would be kind of a funny, like, ploy. It's just an empty room, and I was like, what can I put in here? And it worked out perfectly. So, aliens are real, guys, okay? Over here we have is another bathroom, because like I said, every floor has one. And I don't know why you can't see the rail up here, but we have, oh, I thought that was a person. I don't know why I got shooketh. But yeah, here's the nurse's office with the science little showers that are supposed to get you clean and whatnot, so yeah, over here we have, yeah, so that just ties back around. Did I miss something? Oh my god. Okay, so turned around. Okay, let's go upstairs. Last final stairs. So we have up here, which is honestly kind of my favorite room. I'm kind of hoping my sim will get up here, but little telescope where you guys, your sims can see, and they can definitely use it. I know you can move in here and you can check to see if aliens are real. But yeah, I think it honestly looks really pretty. I love how that's up there. And yeah, I hope you guys like the build. That's gonna do it for here. And yeah, like I said, I feel like there's so many critiques, and it's just mainly because I just worked on it for the last 2 days. Anytime I had. So I loved your guys' honest opinions, and yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. And yay, that'll be it for Subis. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to this village, welcome on in, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this lovely video, and I cannot wait to see what other schools we got going on. We have 2 more generations, unless we continue on to the ever after, I guess, of the Disney Princess Challenge. But that'll do it for today. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.